Into order. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Present.
Freeholder Estrada. Freeholder Garrettson.
Present.
Freeholder Hudak. Freeholder Jallo. Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Here.
And Chairman Granados.
Here.
Chairman, you have 6 freeholders present.
Thank you very much. Clerk of the board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, and to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the board, please read a statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act.
The chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
Chairman Granados.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 6 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. Clerk of the board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 801-2018, an ordinance fixing the salaries of members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, the county manager, and department heads.
Thank you very much. This meeting is open to the public for the purpose on commenting on ordinance number 801-2018 only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Granados, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. Reference this ordinance, which I've come to expect the exorbitancy. I can't believe it. But anyway, back in 2011, Governor Christie and the legislature put together something called caps, to keep the cost of government from rising too much. There are 2% caps, 2.5% caps. And the reason why the cost of government was expanding or becoming very costly was because labor was the primary driver of many of the budgets. A lot of the towns then enforced pretty much through negotiations with collective bargaining, 2% raises and less even. Garwood was such a town. So back, looking at this, back in 2016, I started seeing these raises. These ordinances with the raises, and back in 2016, you voted on raises for 2017, and we're looking at 5% and 6% raises. I stood up here and commented about it. In 2017, for the 2018 period, you were giving out 4% to 6% raises. Now I'm looking at this 2019 list, and I'll tell you that these raises are even worse than the last 2 years. I mean, we're looking at 6.6% raise, 6.7% raise, 5.1% raise, 4.7% raise, 4.5% raise, 5.5% raise, 5.2% raise, even 8% raise, which is amazing. I'm unsure. I keep saying you guys are not financially capable, and you may be not even aware of this, but you increase the raises, the salaries by these raises. You're also increasing the pension burden by the same amount. So both of us have seen these raises, and it's been that way for 3 years. Each year, and this year I'm asking again, to the freeholders, exactly what great achievements and what financial savings did these directors get of these departments to deserve these obscene raises and the huge pension impacts that go with it? I'd really like to know. Hopefully when I sit down, you'll be able to answer it. The other years, you said you didn't know. You were well, you didn't say you didn't know. You were just clueless and couldn't answer it. And I'll tell you the truth to the viewers. I mean, you know how dumb that looks? That you can't even answer the question and yet give out these huge raises. As I pointed out before, I mean, the collective bargaining groups here in the county are looking at this too, and I'm sure they're going to want a piece of the gravy train too sooner or later. So, I mean, be prepared for that. The most ludicrous statement I've heard over the many years, many times, is that you are prudent. I keep hearing you're financially prudent. But to tell you the truth, looking at these raises that you keep giving out, I mean, I don't even think you know the meaning of prudence. Again, you prove during the budget cycle that you really don't understand finances. I mean, you got the surplus increasing by more than you actually have taxes increase, which means that the taxes could go to zero and you would still have a surplus increase. That's what you somehow you just don't comprehend that. You can have a 0% tax increase and still your surplus would increase. So all you're doing basically is just stealing the money from the taxpayers' pockets and funneling it to your favored pockets, you know, to increase their salaries by obscene amounts, and also pension impacts at the same time. So you're looking at a choice here. One, you could vote no on this and actually show to the viewers and the taxpayers that, yes, you are prudent. Or two, you could vote yes and then be forever identify it as just clueless knuckleheads when it comes to finances. So
Come on.
come on, what?
Keep your comments.
Well,
faint.
as long as you vote no,
Mr.
I see
Patterson,
no problem.
Mr. Patterson, you can direct your comments towards me.
Oh, okay, through
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, and tell you what, talking
Go for
about
it.
fruits, I mean, I'm looking at these 30-inch or 36-inch poinsettias. I mean, you know, the camera should look at this. These 3.5-foot diameter wreaths. I mean, the expenditures are just amazing. There is no prudence here. There is no prudence here. Unless Mr. Bergen would like to, through you, explain how you are so prudent. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to comment? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close this portion of the meeting. Freeholder Bergen, would you please move ordinance 801-2018 for final reading and adoption?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Chairman of the Fiscal Subcommittee, I'm happy to move ordinance number 801-2018 for final reading and to authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Bergen, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 6 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. Clerk of the board, please read the ordinance by title for adoption.
Ordinance number 802-2018. An ordinance to amend Part 1, the Union County Administrative Code, Chapter 1, Union County Government Structure, Article 16, Department of Human Services, Article 20, Department of Corrections, Article 24, Department of Economic Development, and Chapter 100, Personnel, Article 16, Employee Handbook.
Thank you very much. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose of commenting on ordinance number 802-2018 only. Once again, kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Granados, ladies and gentlemen, and clueless knuckleheads.
Mr.
of
Patterson,
the Freeholder
Mr.
Board.
Patterson,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
please have respect as we have respect for you when you come up to make comments.
Well, you should respect me, because
We
I'm
do.
the only one
And we-
protecting the taxpayers'
We respect
money.
every single person
You
and
guys
every
just
single member
piss
of
it
this
away
Freeholder
like
board.
clueless knuckleheads.
It makes sure that taking into consideration every single taxpayer in the County of Union. So if you have any comments in reference to 802-2018, you can do so now.
What great achievements, by the way, to have these.
802-2018.
Okay, yeah, this one is pretty much, I normally ask the normal question. Could I guess get an overview of what the amendments are? Thank you very much.
County Council?
Sure.
With reference to human services, we have created the Division of Individual and Family Support Services with several offices within that particular division. Also within the Division of Outreach and Advocacy, we created an Office of Human Services Constituent Relations. Department of Corrections, we created the Bureau of Juvenile Detention. And within the Department of Economic Development, we moved certain offices from Human Services into that department, namely the Office of LGBTQ offices, the Union County Office on Women, and the Office of Business Development. In addition, lastly, the various terms and conditions contained in the personnel handbook have been modified or updated. That's pretty much summary.
Thank you very much, County
You're
Council.
welcome.
Any other member of the public? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close that portion of the meeting. Fielder Bergen, would you please move ordinance 802-2018 for first reading?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not for first reading.
Oh, sorry.
As a member of the Policy Committee, I'd like to move ordinance number 802-2018 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Motion was made by Freeholder Bergen, seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 6 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. The meeting is now open to the public for the purpose on commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and the resolution to which you're referring to, and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
John Berry of Kenilworth. And I've got a couple of these, just questions on 2 resolutions. The first one is, might have gotten a couple of no votes if those freeholders were here. 1057 on this new one. That's development directions, picking up the contract. Now, there's no dollar amount in there, so there are a couple questions on this. What's the dollar amount of this thing? And in the draft that was on the website, this morning, it had, there was an additional line with the option to extend the contract for 2 one-year periods in an amount not to exceed $700,000, which isn't on here. So does that mean that this probably is the last year for development directions since that line was taken out? And just basically, what do they do? I mean, it's Section 8 housing, but anything specific that they would do that someone else couldn't? Is this something that you go out for bid? All right, that's the other one. And the other question is on 1059, that We Are One, 245,000, which, from what I gathered, is just, you're paying the rent and whatever to have an office to sign up Democrat voters. Why did you move from the Elizabeth Gardens to Elizabeth Center? Was it something with the gardens, or is this a cheaper price, or why not Clark or Westfield, where they aren't 100% Democrat voters? And what was the cost last year for this We Are One? It's 245 last. I seem to remember it was somewhere similar, but if you have an exact number, that was it.
Deputy County Manager, and just in reference
mine?
to the comment when it came about individuals becoming U.S. citizens, no point in time does this county ask if somebody plans to become a Democrat, Republican, or independent. We help out any individual who wants to become a U.S. citizen. We move forward in the process through We Are One. Deputy County Manager.
Since you're talking about We Are One, I'll just
Yeah.
continue with that one. This is the same price, same amount of money that we dedicated towards it last year. It is open to residents of the entire county, not just the city of Elizabeth. We moved out of the mall because we put the Simon Youth Academy there, and we couldn't operate both of those functions in the same space. So this was ideally located because people could take mass transit to get here. It actually is easier to get to than the mall was. With regards to development directions, this is procured through an RFP process. The $700,000 is accurate for what they are paid, but those fees are set by HUD, and it's $700,000 over a 2-year period. We don't decide how much to pay them. HUD decides how much to pay them. They vet all of the potential people that could get a voucher. They do all of the inspections for housing quality standards. They run the entire program for us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other member of the public wishing to comment?
Good evening, Chair Granados, ladies and gentlemen, and the CK, the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. Page 2, number 1016. Exclusionary wage increases. Again, you know, trying to control the cost of the government. Raises were normally 2% and less. As soon as I guess Christie left, also now it's just out of control. 2.75% now. I mean, not as great as 5, 6, 8%, but still it's well above norm. You know, the private sector wishes they could get pensions and obscene increases, but we are where we are, and you guys where you are. So the question is actually how many people are involved in that. And what's the cost impact, by the way? How about that? Actually, 1017, here you go. Here, if you want me to thank you for something. The approving constitutional officer salaries, I believe there's no increase if you just confirm that. And if so, I would thank you for it, keeping it flat. Uh, 1030, 1031, and 1032 on page 4. That's approving lists of architectural services, construction management, and general engineering services. I'm going to ask, I'm unsure if you will respond, but I'm going to ask if you could list the companies under each one that are pre-qualified. Number 1034 on the bottom, there's an intersection improvement. Where is it? In the city of Plainfield. $847,000 for an intersection improvement. Now, that's a wow number. Director Graziano many times has come up, and he always gave a rough figure for intersection improvements. I think it was like somewhere $45,000 to $65,000 for intersection improvements, if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, $847,000. That's a wow number. I'd really like to hear what that's about. 1037, Dave Ed Fire Systems. They're getting a 24-month contract for fire alarm services, $535,000. I guess, is this an increase from the other contract? And I don't recall who got it. It wasn't Dave Ed, but how long has Dave Ed been in business? They don't sound familiar. I've been in construction a long time. The 1039, page 5, you're spending $387,000 for a VacCon jet machine. I would assume other towns can actually use it. Garwood on occasion does have clogs that they could use a machine. I think they borrow Cranford's. Maybe they can borrow the county. I'd just like to hear Director Graziano respond on that one. Yeah, 1066. I still got time. Page 9, 1066. You're spending $21,000 for some kind of grinding services for concrete work at Rawway Veterans Memorial. Is that a Rawway property? If it is, why are we spending the money? Why isn't Rawway spending their own money? And is Rawway reimbursing you guys? I'd like to hear about that one. 1074, page 10. This is my general question. Adjust or change internal position control schedules. Just explain that. I guess, actually, there is one more question. Page 2, Freeholder Mirabella brought it up about public always asking questions. 1014 and 1015. It's adopting the budget, and it's 194,000 on one and 58,000 on the other. And yes, normally it's figured in there, but my question is, this is at the end of the year. Why are we getting these grants 2 weeks to the end of the year? I mean, did we spend the money already? And now we're getting the money to pay us back, I guess. Somebody explain that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. We'll start off with 1014, 1015. Comptroller Messias.
With regards to the two Chapter 159 grants mentioned, they are not calendar fiscal year grants. They overlap. For example, the $58,824, that is a first-time funding. We're receiving first-time funding grant. The county is receiving this funds for the first time. And the period for this grant runs from September 1st, 2018 to August 31st, 2019. As for the other Chapter 159 grant, the $194,587, this is an add-on, an increase to a previous grant amount that was awarded to the county.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate
You're
it. 1016, 1017, County Manager.
Thank you, Chairman. For 1016, it affects 611 employees. The average increase is 2.4%, and it's approximately $750,000 overall. For 1074, the departments are Human Services, Public Safety, and the Sheriff's Office.
Thank you very much, County Manager. Director Graziano. You have a couple. What? You have the numbers?
Yeah, I have the numbers, yeah.
Okay, got them.
I could probably chime in a little bit on 2114. That grant that we just received is part of a grant that covers 100% funding for the West 7th Street corridor for that intersection project. So that's all. Again, that project is fully grant funded through the federal government. We're a pass-through from the state to us, so there was no cost to the county taxpayers at all on this project. And it's for 3 intersections. They're changing all the traffic signals on all those intersections. Central, I'll give you the 3 intersections in Plainfield. Grant Ave, Plainfield Avenue, and Central Avenue. Those are all the 3 intersections on the West 7th Street corridor improvement. Again, that was federally funded by the NJDOT in the fiscal year 2015. The whole project started, so that's a full thing there. There was a question on
1039 in reference to the jet.
10.
If municipalities are able to use it also.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. We actually have 2. This will be a new one. We have an older one that we also lend out a lot of times to them. 1037, Dave Ed. Dave Ed's been around since 2006. This contract actually went down $35,000 from the last 2-year contract they had. And I think that was it.
Thank you very much, Director.
Thank you.
And to reference to 1066, it is a county park. That's it. Thank you. Any other questions from the public?
Hello, Maria Echeverria, Elizabeth. 1022. I need to find out how many people does this service, because from my understanding, when I called them, I did ask them what do they do, and they just told me that they refer people to other resources. They just refer people out. 1035. Is this like a project that was supposed to be kind of done many years ago, and it's just adding up on the numbers from something that wasn't done many years ago? 1049. The Union County Sexual Assault Response Team. Is this something new that we have? Is that why, like, the numbers are going up, that they're actually, you know, doing their DNA testing or whatever the case is? And I think that was it. Okay.
Prosecutor Hernandez, if you don't mind commenting on reference 1049, please.
Yes, this is our sexual assault nurse examiners. Nurses are called out when there is an allegation of a sexual assault, and they respond to the hospital and perform an examination and collect vital evidence. The increase is to reflect a change in the grant account numbers. This is a grant that's given to the prosecutor's office. This is not county money. And the other part of this resolution was that we have a number of sexual assault nurses, and this is an additional person to add to the staff who's on call. Some people go off on call, and we have to replace those with other nurses.
Thank you very much. Director Anderson, in reference to 1022, how many individuals are serviced?
Year to date, we have serviced over 103 constituents, providing 9,501 one-way trips to medical appointments, employment, shopping, and recreation activities.
Thank you very much, Director. Any other member of the public wishing to comment? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close this portion of the meeting. May I have a motion to adopt resolutions 2018-1014 through 2018-1081?
So moved.
May I have a
Second.
Motion was made by Vice Chair Kowalski, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 6 votes in the affirmative for all the resolutions.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public for the purpose on commenting on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chair Granados.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board. This is Bruce Patterson Garwood. As I talked about the salary increases, I'm actually going to reiterate because I really would like to hear this. I mean, the last 3 years you've been giving out 4, 5, over 6% raises every year. And I asked the question, I'm going to ask again. What achievements? I mean, you vote on these raises, so I'm sure it must pique your interest why somebody would get a 6% raise. So what achievements have they done? I mean, just pick a couple of directors and ask that question. What achievements have they done where they deserve that? I'd really like to hear an answer from any of you. In particular, I guess the Finance Committee, if anything. But all of you up there. What achievements have they done? 4, 5, 6% raises, year after year after year. When I sit down, it'll be great because, like I said before, I mean, if you don't have an answer, then you're clueless, but you're voting on it, and it just makes you look dumb. But anyway, so, and the next is, and I'll leave this as an open-ended question, you can say whatever you want to say, but I mean, I would like you also to explain how you describe yourself to be financially prudent. What is making you financially prudent? I stood up here, I gave you a couple of examples that seems that you're financially incompetent, but let's hear what makes you financially prudent. So, that's it. Thank you and happy holidays. I don't know if the meeting's going to be before the holidays, but happy holidays if I don't see you.
There's a meeting next week if you want to come by. Don't worry about it. We'll have a chair here waiting for you.
I retract the happy holidays.
Okay, wait till next week. We got it. I think this Freeholder board is extremely financial prudent, especially with our AAA bond rating, that we continue to make sure we're fiscally responsible. And in every single decision this Freeholder board makes, when it comes to the services we provide, when it comes to the raises we give out, and when it comes to making sure that we take the taxpayer into consideration for every single decision our Freeholder board makes, under the leadership of our Freeholder board and our county manager working together. So with that said, that's it. Anyone else wishing to comment?
Hi, okay, it's me again. I'm gonna second Bruce though, on that one.
Happy holidays?
You know,
Oh, okay.
because I'm sure
Jimmy.
people that are getting TANF are still
Your-
on
sorry,
322
your name and
for a
address,
year.
please? Sorry.
Maria
Thank you.
Echevarria Elizabeth. Okay, I'm sure people that are on TANF are still on that 322 for God knows how long. There's no change in living increase for them. So that goes the same for everybody else. And I did have a question on that 2018, that 802. I heard the word advocacy in there somewhere. So what kind of advocacy was that for? And there is a lot of overdoing on it, okay? Like, I know that everybody was so proud of the new skating ring. I went behind there. It was nothing but fake grass. You guys did a whole remodeling of the cafeteria and all that for all those millions of dollars that went to that. But the ring itself was nothing but fake grass. I know I saw somewhere where Elizabeth got $90,000 for some fake grass, some synthetic turf. So is that for like another football field, a soccer field? Because there's a lot of soccer going on, but that's it, thank you. So yeah, that's a lot of waste too.
I don't think that's a question. I think that's a comment. So, anyone else from the public wishing to comment? Seeing no one else, formally close that portion of the meeting. Move on to Freeholder reports and comments. Freeholder Garrettson.
Sure, very simple, just happy holidays, happy new year, and also just it's been a wonderful year on the Freeholder board. Thank you to all the Freeholder, all my colleagues, all the staff, but also to all of the stakeholders in the community. God bless.
Freeholder Bergen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patterson, I do not see how throwing insults at this board, threats, and other kind of veiled challenges are in any way productive in the public discourse. I also would reject your statement, which you made several times tonight, that there are employees who got 4%, 5%, 6% raises year after year after year. Just because you look at a piece of paper and say it doesn't make those facts. And in fact, I believe that this Freeholder board, the county manager, and our entire staff work very hard to be very careful with the money paid by the residents of this county. Yes, sometimes some of our employees do get a raise that might be more than 2% or 2.5%, but those are carefully reviewed, and I would say that week in, week out, day in, day out, our employees, and in particular our department heads, work very, very hard for many hours, day in and day out, for the betterment of the lives of all of the citizens and residents of our county. And I do believe that the raises that we've given are deserved. And I do think they're fiscally prudent, because it is important to make sure that this county has employees who are well-trained and experienced, and sometimes you have to make sure you're paying what is reasonable to keep good people here. So I do believe that your claims that this board is not fiscally prudent nor fiscally understanding are just totally wrong. I do want to point out that our county clerk's office has once again this year put out the 2019 election calendar, and this year's calendar is focused on arts and sciences in Union County. And each month has a different picture and person or event, but just because it happens to be the middle of the calendar in July, Carl Sagan is there. For those who don't know, he was a resident of Broadway and a famous scientist and on TV. And just one example of how this calendar has very useful information about Union County and what we do. But beyond that, it also has the important dates in the political calendar, because of course the county clerk's office oversees that part of our government, and so it's a wonderful thing. And anyone who wants it, I urge you to stop by our county clerk's office and pick up a copy of this or next year's calendar. Also, earlier this week, the vice chairman and I had an opportunity to attend the monthly board meeting of New Jersey Transit, and we did have an opportunity to speak both with the board members and with some of their staff. And I'm happy to report that the positive train control project, which a year ago was way behind, is now virtually complete. And that's important to many citizens in Union County, because once that's complete, the Raritan Valley line will have their at least the limited one-seat ride that are available reinstated, and hopefully it will help cut down on late trains and delayed trains and canceled trains. We also spoke to one of the staff members about staffing, because that's been a problem. And just so people understand, New Jersey Transit went through 8 years when they were starved for money. And many things developed that couldn't be fixed because of money, and you don't solve 8 years of problems overnight. But I do believe that the current board of New Jersey Transit is working hard. The governor is working and giving them the funding they need, and they are working on one of their other perennial problems, and that is staffing. And in the next, I think it's 6 months, there will be 3 classes of engineers coming off the board to give them more employees and give them more flexibility and the ability to run the line. So as chairman of the Raritan Valley Rail Coalition and as a member of this board, I thought it was a very good meeting that we had with the New Jersey Transit Board, and I'm looking forward to next year continuing to make progress on that line. And I'll hold my happy holidays till next week as well, Mr. Chairman. In as much as he's not here, I'd like to bank Freeholder Estrada's time. And thank you.
No problem, Freeholder Bergen. Freeholder Williams?
Yeah, just a couple of things. One is, if you're visiting the mills at Jersey Gardens tomorrow, the Freeholder Board is happy to be sponsoring caroling, caroling in the Gardens, which is a special holiday performance by the Chinese American Music Ensemble. It's tomorrow, Friday at 5:30 p.m. And this is the first year that we're sponsoring this event, and we'd like to thank the New Jersey State Council on the Arts for providing funding through the. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I can hear you a lot better now. Look at that.
I can hear myself. Yeah, so this is our first year sponsoring Caroling in the Gardens, and we'd like to thank the New Jersey State Council on the Arts for providing the funding through the NEA, and also for more cheer in this holiday season. You are welcome to join us next Friday, December 21st at 11 a.m. for our annual Union County Holiday Sing-Along at the County Courthouse in the Rotunda. So those are the 2 things I have. Just to reiterate, if you didn't hear me, the Chinese American Music Ensemble is going to be doing a special holiday performance caroling at the Mills at Jersey Gardens tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder Williams. Freeholder Mirabella?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As many county staff know, and certainly the freeholders know, we had the UC STEP event last weekend at Kane University. I'm very pleased to report that the online voting is now open for the annual community service component of that. refresh everyone's memory, this initiative was part of Assemblywoman Carter's tenure as chairwoman here at the Freeholder Board, and we've continued that support of this program every year. I was very happy to see Chairman Granados, Freeholder Hudak, the county manager, and other freeholders that were able to stop by that particular day participate. It provides high school students with an opportunity to join together and organize a countywide service program with the support of the freeholders. We had terrific turnout this year. More than 200 students from 24 high schools across Union County, the best and brightest in Union County, came together, worked as teams to come with 3 projects with the theme of suicide prevention. The decision and the final decision open to a vote, and the whole community is invited to participate. Voting closes on January 1st, so please visit UC STEP page on the county website and take a look at the 3 projects and vote for your favorite. Let me have an opportunity, Mr. Chairman, to thank Dina Mazeros for her operation and her work that she was able to facilitate that program and organize and plan it under the leadership of our Deputy County Manager Wagner. I want to thank President Farahi at Kane University for his generous support of the space. He's been a terrific partner with Union County to champion this leadership program with this community service component. Mr. Chairman, I don't want to steal any of your thunder if you're going to speak about the dog park, but I was happy to participate in that last weekend. The second dog park in Union County at Warnanko Park, and it's a wonderful addition to our park system at Warnanko Park. And even on a cold day, to see 50, 60 dogs running around having a good time was nice to see that opening. As far as the increase is concerned, I certainly supported them, as I voted yes, and support Freeholder Bergen's comments before. It can't be underestimated that one of the attributes, and several attributes of the AAA bond rating, of which only 7% of municipal entities in New Jersey have attained, is as a result of strong leadership, strong management, and fiscal responsibility. It's not my definition. It's the definition of the rating agencies who independently rate counties and municipalities for their bond rating. And that is a true strength of the fiscal health of our county. Many of our directors could make much more money on the private sector. So I consider, our group of directors and the work they do throughout the year to be exemplary. The work that they do, the leadership that they provide to their departments is second to none. And I would put our directorial staff, led by the county manager, against any county government in the state of New Jersey. So I'm very pleased with the work and the product and the way that they are handling their departments, and I was very happy to vote for that particular increase. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder Mirabella. County Council?
No comments tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
County Manager?
Thank you, Chairman. Since I won't be here next week, I want to use my happy holidays tonight.
Wait. Maybe a voluntary message.
What was that?
That was
Happy
it.
holidays.
Vice Chair Kowalski.
Thank you, Chairman. I think we're all aware that winter weather is upon us, and going along with that, the county has already issued several Code Blue alerts. Code Blue is a system for helping homeless people in our community find shelter when the weather becomes life-threateningly cold. And when we issue a Code Blue alert, we coordinate our county resources with our partner agencies and local officials. So we seek out and identify people who may need help, and we provide them with transportation to a shelter if needed, as well as support services. We launched the Code Blue service more than 11 years ago in 2007. And we were the first county in New Jersey to start Code Blue, and now state law requires every county in New Jersey to have this kind of system. No one should have to suffer in the cold when help is at hand, and I'd like to thank all of those who contribute to our Code Blue system and participate. We also have a 24-hour hotline for homeless people, regardless of what kind of weather we have, and the number to call is 908-249-4815, 249-4815. And I'd also like to mention that we had a very successful Skating with Santa program over at Warnanko Rink last week, and It was a great success, and I want to thank all of our parks staff who made that possible. And I understand there were a number of parents who said it was the nicest county event they've ever attended. So congratulations to all involved. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Okay. Just want to add on to what Freeholder Mirabella stated before in reference to the dog park. I just want to give a special acknowledgement to Kong and Earth Rated for providing treats for our friendly pets who were in attendance, and especially to the Department of Parks who went above and beyond in making sure that this dog park was created, and also making sure that all the activities within the facility, within the dog park, are definitely a great acknowledgement and great advancement of what we have for our pet lovers across the county, in making sure that we're making sure everybody's happy. Before I continue on my comments, Freeholder Williams.
Yes, just an amendment, actually a correction. The annual holiday sing-along is actually on Christmas Eve, on Monday, December 24th, not tomorrow, at 11 a.m. Christmas Eve. You are welcome to come and sing at the Union County Courthouse in the Rotunda, 11 a.m., Monday, Christmas Eve. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
If
Chairman.
you'll permit, Freeholder, there's another addenda on that. The rotunda itself is under renovation at the moment, so we will be singing in the lobby at the back of the building. But anyone who comes, you'll be directed to the sing-along.
See, we all help each other out around here. Everybody gets a little point of the talking points here.
Show up.
What
Ready
day is
to
it again?
sing.
What day?
Monday,
Okay.
Christmas Eve,
We're on
December
point.
24th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Just want to thank everybody once again for the dog park, and also make acknowledgement that tomorrow at 7 p.m. this Freeholder board is holding a memorial service to mark the anniversary of the Sandy Hook school shooting in Connecticut. The ceremony will take place at the gazebo in Echo Lake Park in partnership with the organization Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense. Together, we will honor the memory of the 26 children and adults who were murdered in a single episode of gun violence 6 years ago. So, please, if you're able to, please join us in acknowledging individuals who were lost and making sure that we come together during their families' time of need across this country. And with that said, I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved,
And a
Mr. Chairman.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.